We traded both sides of the market today. When it went up, we made money, and when it went down, we made money. And today we're going to talk exactly about that. Welcome. If this is your first time watching. This is a trade recap from this morning's live stream day trading session with our LTE team. If you've never heard of that, that is where I go live at market open. I live stream my day trading sessions and and we hang out with our LTE team, or our Learn to Earn team, every morning at market open. And we did a great job by identifying overall market direction. Very choppy today, but within these very small movements, we were able to lock in profits. Yes, we are up over $45, or almost 2% on the day. And we do have a couple positions open right now that are still in the green. And so still, as we do this, you may see some fluctuation between this price up here to the right. And that's just showing our overall profits on the day. So going into it right off the bat, guys, tqqq was a nice little winner. Let's talk about sqqq real quick, okay? Now, sqqq pushed up from $35 to $41 last night, of course, after Trump signed the basically the documents to begin tariffs for Liberation Day. It was Liberation Day yesterday on April 2nd. It sold off dramatically. Now, the overall market went up to $483 on the NASDAQ and pushed all the way down to $453. And guys, I sold my sqqq position the day before at 38.60 and 38.30. Okay, we could have made over $200 or $300 by simply holding it overnight. Nonetheless, shoulda, coulda, woulda. We've been trading this basically all month long, as you can see here on my sqqq. We've been trading this literally every single day. Okay, so got a little bit of experience, know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And if you're new here, smash that like button. Okay, so QQQ pushed down even more, got rejected off of this moving average here, this green line, got rejected again here at 460 for a nice push down. Well, I was able to identify that, and what we did was we started a trade. I bought 10 shares up at 41.46. Now, it was a little bit high up to buy, as we had already missed the majority of the trade. We would have been better off buying at 450 or even at $40 down here at those support levels. Now, I bought literally at resistant level, thinking that would have a breakout initially for the open, and there was no breakout. So I waited for it to sell off, and we were very patient. I wanted to buy at 41.20. I wanted to buy at $41, and what I did was I was patient. I bought at 40.57 down here in this low area, 40.57, right where my cursor is, and that's where I initially bought, bringing my average share price, I think, to like $41 even, which was nice. I had a nice cushion as this pushed up above the moving average. It tested it, it got rejected. I considered adding more to my position down here. Should have, now looking back, didn't. And as it pushed up, we had 20 shares all the way up, pushed all the way up to $42, and I thought it could go even higher than that, so I doubled down on my position because it crossed over this resistance here. I doubled down about 20 shares at 42.05. Honestly, shouldn't have even done that because I saw a lot of consolidation right after I bought it, and I sold 40 shares at $42. Now, not bad. We made 18 bucks on sqqq. What could I have done better? Well, instead of buying 20 shares up here, I shouldn't have bought them, right? I wasted over $800 on a trade that went sideways. So that could have been used somewhere else. Also, hindsight, looking back at this double bottom, I could have bought more here, or could have bought more at the break above 41 and had, an additional 20 shares at $41 instead of up at 42, thus doubling my profits from $18 to probably well over $40 on this one trade. That's okay. Okay, we still locked in money. Good thing we sold here at $42 because we saw this consolidation pushed up a little bit more to 42.33, and then it flushed ever since. It's been selling off below the moving average. Great trade setup, right? Great trade setup. We identified the direction that it was going overall. We identified that it was holding above the moving average. We bought a little bit high on the first 10. We redeemed ourselves on the second 10 shares, and we rolled this all the way up and sold at a nice high area. Shouldn't have bought here. That was a waste amount of money. That was $800 wasted. Again, could have been used on a different trade, or using that $800 down here to buy an additional 20 shares to make an additional 20 bucks. Okay, now moving on, we've seen that this I sold off here, and I thought that QQQ could potentially bounce off of 451. Now I did delete the support level recently, but 451 is a major support. Now this goes back all the way to January, April, and August of last year. We're going to go ahead and draw this yellow line here, go back to the daily, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here, okay? Back in August, basically back in August, September of 2024, it hit 451, okay? In August, it came all the way down to 421, okay? But overall, this area of resistance, about 449, 450, right, since May of 2024. Okay, so it basically gave away an entire year's worth of profits in a little bit less than 2 months. What was this? In 40 days. In 40 days, it gave back 1 year's worth of profits, a year's worth of appreciation from 450 to 540. Boom, gave it all the way back to 450. So by identifying this support level, I made a determination like, hey, let's go long. This is extremely oversold. It's down over 5% when I actually took this position. I'm like, that's like record. That's a record number for the stock market to be down 5% in one day, which means, of course, sqqq pushed up 15%, tqqq was down 15%, so I took a trade on tqqq at the very bottom. And guys, this was super risky, but I felt comfortable taking it by watching this all day, selling my sqqq position at a good spot, and then buying in on tqqq. And guys, I only bought 15 shares. I didn't buy that many shares at all. I think it was like around $700, $800 position, because again, I wasted $800 on that sqqq spot at the top. If I could add another $800, this again could have been double. So 2 situations where I could have doubled my money by just being that little bit much of a better trader. And moving forward, that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, this $50 today could have been 100 very easily, but of course I made a couple of mistakes, and we're going to learn from them and move on. Okay, I sold 5 shares at 51.69. So I sold right here at these resistance levels because I didn't like the way it looked. And again, we're in a bear market. The overall trend has been very bearish. And so I knew that this was eventually going to sell off again, but I just wanted to catch a really small movement as it pushed up to test this moving average. And that's exactly what we did. We sold a little too early here, but I didn't mind holding 10 shares. So the majority of this $22 in profit came from only 10 shares, about $500. Okay. Pushed all the way up. It tested these moving averages. Once it got above this 200-day moving average, I was like, okay, this is very nice. It's going to be bullish. Pushed all the way up to $53. Okay, pushed up to $53, which, why is this significant? Well, it's a whole number, and it was actually an area of pre-market support. And anything that's a support and that's below it will now turn into a strong resistance. So I was hoping this would push above $53 and we'd get a nice rally to maybe 54, 55, because the whole time in the Discord I was letting our LTE members know, hey, this is up to 454, this is up to 455, okay, this is up to 458, let's catch the break to 459, 460, and it didn't happen. So I sold my position on tqqq at 52.82 and 52.75, resulting in a nice 3% profit on this trade. I made another 2% profit on sqqq. So that was a nice 5% profit on 2 really good trades, which gave me a nice almost 2% profit on the overall account size. Now, I know most of you know, but there might be a few of you who are new here. We started this account with $200 on January 1st of 2025. We are now in April 3rd, so 1/4 of the year is over, okay, 3 months is over, and we are able to grow it to now $2,655, okay? I don't know if you guys can see that right there, 2,655. And of course, if you're a Discord member, I update you on all of this. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, before we talk about our next two open positions here, Lunar and Synex, which again, I've been giving our LTE members updates on that as well for my first swing trades of the year. I took one swing trade on sqqq, made $75 on that swing trade. But let's go over to the Discord real quick. I want to showcase our trade ideas and basically what it looks like, guys. Okay, this is our Discord here. And we're going to go ahead and just hide this member list. We have 57 active members right now, but we just hit and crossed over 600 total members for our Learn to Earn team. Now, of course, we have over 7,000 members, 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, and over 70,000 members on our private Investing for Beginners community, where I started this all by buying dividend paying stocks. I love dividend paying stocks. I still have a portfolio that pay me monthly paying dividends and quarterly paid dividends, and I get multiple checks from those in another long-term investment account. That's where I started all this in my journey. But past couple of years I've been day trading, and last year we took an account with $500 and we grew it a little bit over $6,000. This year we're trying to do the same thing by taking a $200 account, even smaller than last year, and growing it to over $25,000 by December. And although we are just a little bit shy to be on track, it's not by much, okay? Now, I wanted to remind everyone that 2% a day is our goal here. If we can make 5 to 10% a week, that's 20 to 40% a month. That means on the higher scale, you can actually double your account size every 10 weeks, okay, by just making 2% a day. Now, right now, we're on track to make 2% a day, which is now around $50. And I remember when 2% a day on even $1,000 was what, guys? $20. Okay, $20. What about $500? $10. Imagine waking up and trading every day to make $5 or $10. I remember when we first started with $200. Literally, we were making like $2 a day, $3 a day. If we were lucky, we'd make $5 a day. And again, slow grind, growing this account. But now we are starting to see the actual compounding effects of it. We're able to grow this, 2% a day. Now we're starting to see $50 a day. Before you know it, we'll start seeing, with an account size of around $3,000, right? $2,655. So I wanted to remind everyone when we started with $200 in January. Now we're, we're in April. Okay, now making $50 a day. By mid-April, maybe beginning of May, we'll start pushing those $100 days. And then by June, July, we'll start hitting maybe $200 days. And that's where this compounding effect takes place. As you can see here, $20 a day is an extra $5,000 a year. $100 a day is $25,000 a year. So that's our sweet spot. But because we're about 3 months behind, we need to really hightail it, make $150, $200, maybe $300 toward the end of the year, toward like say, November, December, something like that. But $500 a day consistently will give you $126,000 a year. Okay, we already reached this 20. Now we're mid, we're at 50, so $50 a day is about $12,000 a year, a little more. So we're on track to grow this account to $12,000. But now let's try to get to those $100 days, so we're on track to growing it to $25,000. Once we hit that $25,000 goal on this, then we will be able to actually day trade more frequently. Right? We'll be able to get in and out of day trades, and we can, that $25,000, it's unlimited day trades. So instead of being at some sort of a cap on margin. You can only do 3-day trades a week in a 5-day period in order to stay underneath that PDT rule if you're under 25K. Now, say you have 24K, well, you can have unlimited day trades until you use up your entire cash amount for the day. So you use $24,000 that day on one trade, you get one trade. If you split it up into 100 trades, you'll get 100 trades. But once you use all of that capital on the day, it'll have to take one whole day to re-register and make your cash available again, right? So you can technically get hundreds, if not thousands, of day trades a week with a cash account if you do it correctly, underneath that $25,000 PDT rule. Now, of course, once you're over $25,000, it doesn't matter. You could trade unlimited all day, all night, doesn't matter, as long as you don't drop below $25,000. It's almost like a money glitch. You can have 25K, but by using it constantly over and over, getting in and out of positions, you could have hundreds of thousands of dollars in trades in a single day. Okay, so that's why we're trying to get to 25K. If anybody's curious about that as to why and the thought process behind it. Okay, so moving on to trade ideas real quick. We're gonna go over trade ideas. Trade ideas basically saying, look, we've been watching this all day. I've been giving you guys my updates since this morning, April 3rd, 6:51. I updated everyone that QQQ was going down overnight. Now at 4:55, we talked about the moving average. I talked about entering my first trade. Let's see, where does I talk about it at? April 3rd. I guess I didn't talk about buying my first trade because we were on the live stream. But afterward, I talked about when I sold it. I sold my position at $42. Opening up a position on tqqq, now buying a position, and then selling. And then of course I give you my picture screenshots showcasing where I bought and where I sold. And this is all available to you for free, 100% free, lifetime access. I give you guys, my exact trade ideas. I bought here, I sold here, I sold here. Basically what we're talking about, except in a more visual format in case you missed these videos. I give you my updates, I talk about the overall day and what my thought process is. And then I give you updates on everything else, and I'll also allow other people to share their thoughts and ideas with us. Big League had a rough day today, losing around $1,000, but getting $600 to $700 of it back by being consistent and by understanding his trade idea. So overall, he only lost about $280. But Big League, he plays with some good size. He has some good cash on him to where he can make those big moves, and he's able to stomach losing $280 because he knows he can make it back. He can make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 when the trade goes in his favor. So I'd love to know if you have any profits. Share your profits with us here. This was what was this, yesterday, where we made $95 in profit, bring it up to $26.34 on our account. Now of course I already updated you, we're at $26.55, 65, something like that. So growing very nicely over time, definitely growing. This is actually our 5th green day. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is our 5th green day in a row. And yeah, very consistent. So last but not least, this is running a little bit longer than I expected. Our 2 positions here is Synex. I do have 10 shares at 1746. Okay, we are up about 2% on this currently. It has dropped a little bit below, but as long as it holds above this moving average, we can continue to see this pushing up. And why is this important to me? Well, if this can push up, we've seen multiple times where it's bounced from $17 to $20, $17 to $22, $17 again to $21, another $16.50 even cheaper, up to $21. So as this moves in this horizontal pattern, we could take advantage by buying in these lower areas, right? I bought 1 share here, and then I really doubled down at $17.35, which was actually below my initial entry. My initial entry on this was going to be $17.25, so it's a little bit higher than what I wanted, $17.35, but this actually came down and touched $17.11, and now pushing up. Now if this does push up to those $20 levels, even if it just pushes up to this moving average of $19.30, that's a 14% profit, or $2 per share. So by showcasing the 10 shares, we could be up, 10% to 20% on this position. And as it starts to rise, I will add more to it, and that'll thus give us more money potential. At 10% currently, I'll make about 20 bucks. At 20% currently, I'll make about $35. Now, if I had 100 shares, of course, that would go up exponentially. I'd make $350. So I am watching Synex Aluminum. It's at a nice little buy point area that I'm comfortable with. Doesn't mean you have to trade this, but it's just something that I'm doing for a swing trade now in April, first week of April. Okay. Lunar, another company that had great success recently from these lows that we're seeing now. If I pull it up here, you can see it's been at these lows before at $7 and pumped all the way to $25, and I've traded this company down at $7 and even up in the $20 region and coming back down. I've traded this company. Okay, so I know a little bit about what I'm talking about here. Now this is pushing up or finding support at that $6.99, $7 level. So I felt comfortable taking a trade. Yesterday, I bought at $7.49 and sold at $8.17. I only wish I bought more shares yesterday because it pushed up a full dollar from $7.16 to $8.50. That's a dollar, almost $1.50 per share. And beautiful move from LUNR. Now pushing back down below the moving average. We could see this sell off even more, but I did take a small position. I have one share at $7.49, just a little starter share. If this pushes above the moving average again, I may add more shares to it, as this technically could push to $9. Okay, it just recently pushed to $8.50, got rejected, but it does mean that this could set up for a nice 20% profit, even if you did buy at these $8 levels, which is only 20 cents away from where it is currently at $7.80, for a nice $1.50 per share. So 10 shares make you 15 bucks. 100 shares could potentially make you, what was it? 1.6%, $150. Okay, and 100 shares of Lunar isn't much. That'd be $700. I mean, I had a $800 trade that I shouldn't have even taken on sqqq, which I just kind of threw away because it was just kind of consolidating. That $800 could have bought me 100 shares of Lunar today, and we could be swing trading with the 100 shares right now up to $9.50. Nonetheless, hey, that's hindsight, right? Tomorrow morning, it's another day. We're going to be trading again. I hope to see you all in our live day trading session at market open tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow's Friday, so let's end the week on a green note. Shoot, I don't even know where we're up. Let's give you an update on our actual P&L. For all of you who are not aware, we ended March up what, $200, 10%, I believe. Let me get that right here. Let me see if I can minus this here. Okay, so we ended March with $205 or 10% profit in 1 month. So 10% profit a month. Very nice. Okay, I try to aim for 10 to 20% a month. So now, moving into this month, we are now up almost 11%. Well, month over month, right? So, I mean, of course, if I go last 5 days, how do I do this? Either way, we are up. Okay, we are up, and as long as we maintain our 2% a day growth, we will continue to be up over time. Okay, so appreciate you guys' time. Like always, remember, smash that like button, consider subscribing to the channel and joining our Discord. It's 100% free, lifetime access. Get in now while it is free, and we'll see you all in tomorrow morning's live day trading session. Thank you guys, have a great day, and appreciate your time. Like always, remember, let's end the year on a green note.